Convicted felon Donald Trump in his clown car of a cabinet and vice president entertained the South African president yesterday, and it was a Zelensky-style embarrassment. There is nothing more humiliating for the United States of America than Donald Trump. When asked a question, this was his response. Now, remember, President of the United States, this is how he behaves in front of other leaders.
Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. This NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment.
Which is questionable. Okay, that's enough. How about the President of the United States? I mean, he is a bully. He is hateful. He is mean. And for Donald Trump to call someone stupid is just too much.
This is the news cycle. Trump acts like an ass, rinse, repeat, next day. We get here and we report it over and over and over. These are attacks on the press. He thinks he's above everything. And these Trumpian-style tactics on the press are not just limited to MAGA. We had somebody on our podcast yesterday, a Democrat, and somebody in her office called us to lecture and belittle our producer about questions we asked. So this is a very serious time in America when journalists who are asking sincere questions about transparency, and you have elected leaders that think they are above answering in a transparent way. This is fascist. This is authoritarian. These are the makings of a dictatorship. And I'm not so sure that we're not already there. We've got a Danish guy that's in prison right now. He's been in there for 30 days from Denmark, who didn't fill out the right paperwork 10 years ago. He's got 4 kids, American citizen kids. We've thrown him. We have all these kids. We have all these people down in a concentration camp in El Salvador. But Trump acts like an ass, and then we all cover that. Meanwhile, this bill is getting passed that's going to take away health care from 13 million Americans. But yeah, Trump's an ass all day, every day, rinse, repeat. We'll do the exact same episode tomorrow.
Right. Okay, so then the president of South Africa completely makes fun of Trump, and Trump is so stupid, he doesn't even know it.
He talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I'd take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone knows Trump is transactional. Everyone knows he's susceptible to bribes. He does not care about consistently doing the right thing. He only cares about money. And here is the president making fun of him, and he doesn't even know it. He is so stupid. He says, oh, well, I would take the plane. Well, of course you would. Everybody knows you would because you suck.
Well, this hits hard in low T Twitter because the South African president is Black, and Trump likes the optics of him acting like a tough guy in front of him. And for me, this entire thing of covering Trump acting like an ass on the global stage is a distraction from the damage that they're causing to the supporters of that movement that are getting hoodwinked by this administration. Here's your shiny object. You're going to watch Trump bully a Black man in the Oval, which hits hard in the base. Meanwhile, he is draining the American economy of services and goods, and he's filtering all the money to the billionaire class, to his friends.
He absolutely is. And interestingly enough, the Republicans did all the bill in secret overnight. This new bill they passed, they wouldn't read it aloud during the daytime because they knew how damaging it was. And now we have a bill that's going to strip millions and millions of Americans from health care, from poor children, food benefits. And do you know who will not suffer under this new tax plan? The billionaires. All of these cuts are nothing more than enrichment of the billionaire class. The deficit long term is going to be increased by tens of trillions of dollars. And the fiscal Republicans, they don't care because they're more scared of Trump than doing the right thing for the right reasons in their constituents.
But you're giving them credit that they want to do the right thing. They have had Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security on their minds for decades, the Republicans have. To start the argument about Republicans that they care about doing the right thing is just intellectually dishonest. The entire Republican movement has been to demonize the poor. You know, oh, look at these assholes on minimum wage that need food stamps. Let's demean them instead of saying, hey, McDonald's, Target, Walmart, Starbucks, you're going to have to pay people a living wage, and we are going to legislate that to where the minimum wage is enough for an American to afford a two-bedroom apartment, because right now in all 50 states, you cannot on minimum wage afford a two-bedroom apartment. So this has been the Republican plan even before Trump. Trump is just diabolical enough to let them pass it all, and the base is so indoctrinated into all of this that they bully a black man in the Oval Office, bully Zelensky, talk about airplanes and all of this stuff as a distraction from the final nail in the coffin of shifting all of the money to the very, very, very top and making the American public dumber and poorer and sicker.
Absolutely. It's going to have ramifications that will reverberate for generations. Absolutely, for generations. But before we move on to the next part of the show, I want to talk about Sundays for Dogs. They're a great sponsor, and Sundays for Dogs is such a gift to give your dog. Our dogs, we have French Bulldogs, they absolutely love this food because it's human-grade ingredients. Do you like the convenience of Sundays for Dogs?
I just like that I have signed up for a subscription. It lands on my doorstep. My dogs love it. I never have to worry about running out. It's a great service, and it's just such healthier food than all that processed dog food. And my dogs, they're super picky eaters, and they eat it all the time.
Unlike other fresh dog food, Sundays for Dog does not require refrigeration or preparation because of the air drying process. So you just pour and serve, and that makes it so nice. So please join us and do something nice for your dogs. Get 40% off your first order of Sundays. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/IHI news or use code IHI news at checkout. Okay, Trump makes this huge stink in the Oval Office. He does not listen to facts. And it turns out all of these videos and pictures that he's showing, let's fact check it. Washington Post, in an extraordinary exchange, President Donald Trump amplified false claims that white Afrikaners have been victims of a genocide in a meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa in the Oval Office. He confronts him about violence. And next clip, please. Trump showed photos from Congo as proof of white genocide in South Africa. What a bumbling buffoon. And here's the thing. We see this all the time with Trump. We see the Garcia, who's in an El Salvadorian concentration camp because he has two tattoos on his fingers. Well, it turns out those photos were doctored. Now he's relying on evidence that's not true. And unfortunately, his base and the people that support him, they're not interested in facts. What they like is what you said. He is belittling and bullying a black man in the Oval Office. And that's where they get their rocks off. So denying people due process and lying and saying you have proof when you do not, it doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is doing what the dear leader wants.
I mean, this is the eating the dogs, eating the cats. And I just think as we continue to cover this, I'm not shocked by any of this. I'm not shocked by any of this behavior. I'm not shocked at the way Donald Trump speaks to the press. I'm not shocked that he uses propaganda and lies to his dumbed down electorate. And moving forward, I just don't know how to continue to cover this other than, do we cover him being an ass, or do we cover the damage that he is causing to the country? He is draining the American economy. Who wanted that to happen is Vladimir Putin. And he does this. He's very brilliant and savvy in front of the camera. He knows how to throw the dangling objects in front of all of us and for everybody to talk about all of this stuff. And this is what becomes the news cycle. Instead of what happened last night in Congress, where one vote passed this bill and it should be discussed. 3 Democrats have died since this man was sworn in, which was the question I addressed yesterday on the podcast, which our producer got belittled about. So as you try to cover this, can we talk honestly about what's happening in the United States right now? The Democrats are voting for a man who has terminal cancer to be in an oversight position of this shit show. And then we ask about it and we are then belittled, and our producers condescended to for asking a very honest question, because look at what that vote did. Look at what that did. Look at what Trump does yesterday to distract from all of this. He is shifting and draining the American institutions and economy of every sense of power. And I don't know how we come back from this.
I don't either, but we need to come together. We need to protest. We need to form a resistance. Please subscribe to our channel. 47% of you are watching but not subscribing, so please subscribe and we'll stick with us for more news.